morning and welcome to Peak Entertainment, brought to you today by TrueView Studios. My name is Zoe Campbell.
My name's Zoe Johnson.
And this is our first show. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I'm so excited. Are you ready?
I'm so pumped. All right, so let's get into the news. Ben Lapine School District has 2 new schools in the works, a new high school and a new elementary school. The new elementary school off of O.B. Riley Road has been named after a vote by the school board in the past week. I went down to the construction site to see what the board has been up to. Has been chosen for the 600 student elementary school off of O.B. Riley Road. Ben Lapine School's board of directors voted for one of the 3 names that were offered. Those names were Florence Drake, North Star, and Ruth Reed. They announced the new name in the following Facebook post that evening. North Star is the brightest star in the Little Dipper constellation and is known for being a reliable navigational tool. The star has been known to symbolize freedom, consistency, stability, focus, and the internal compass that guides someone's life. I spoke with the assistant superintendent of the school over video conference about the decision-making process. Thanks, Mr. Matheson, for taking the time to sit down with us. How did these 3 names get chosen as the finalists, and what criteria did the board use to choose a winner?
Yeah, good question. So we have a board policy. So our school board has policy that requires that we set up a committee that does that work. They're the ones who kind of come up with the names on the short list, and they submit those 3 names by policy to the school board for consideration.
We had a chance to visit the site of the new elementary school and speak with the planning principal. So Kevin, you are the planning principal of North Star.
I am.
And what is the process like of putting together a school like this?
So it all starts with designing and then the architecture work. So I wasn't a part of. It was designed after Silver Rail Elementary School with some changes. Some pretty. It's pretty similar to Silver Rail on the inside. The outside looks quite a bit different. It's kind of a red school, 2 stories, just like Silver Rail, with a library in the center. And so that design process happened before I was hired as the planning principal. And then now we're moving into getting close to where we'd start deciding. We did the school boundary change, so now we know that there'll be students coming to the new school, to North Star. And now we're looking at how many teachers, how many staff members do we need to hire, and starting to move through that process so that we can open in August, end of August, September of 2019.
Cool. So, speaking of that, how on track are you to open this year?
You know, they're on track. They anticipate having substantial completion around the middle of June. So that means we can start moving in furniture and start putting together things so it looks more like a school. And then we'll be ready for the groundbreaking the ribbon cutting that we'll have on August 29th for all the community to come and help us cut the ribbon on the new elementary school.
Garrigan Matheson stated that the school is on track for opening to new students in the fall of 2019.
A group of teachers from Summit High School went last week to join a protest for school funding. We sat down with a few of them to get their opinions. On Monday, February 18th, over 2,000 educators gathered in Salem, Oregon. There, they participated in a campaign called Red for Ed. Across the country, teachers are wearing Red for Ed, a protest of the lack of funding for public education. We interviewed some Summit teachers who participated to learn more. Can you explain what Red for Ed is?
Sure. It's a nationwide movement, the goal of which is to get more funding for public education. And the purpose is to try to make it so that the class sizes are not too large, so that teachers are paid a reasonable amount of money, and so that in general we can invest the money in what is one of the most important things that we do for our citizenry.
Red for Ed. It is a movement for eventually funding education in Oregon as well as we possibly can get it funded.
Did you participate in Red for Ed?
Well, I participated in the demonstration. It's because I think that it's pretty clear from all of the statistics that Oregon schools are desperately underfunded. I am especially bothered by the fact that our class sizes are so large.
I know that teaching is one of those things that needs new teachers, fresh teachers, and if we don't pay new teachers enough, we're not going to have good new teachers.
Why do you think the American public school systems need more funding?
Well, I just mentioned class sizes. I think that that's one problem, but also I think that there is a problem of difficulty attracting people to the profession because the salaries of teachers and the prestige that go along with the profession aren't equal to the sort of prestige and salaries that would be associated with other professions that require a similar level of education.
Education in general has always been underfunded. It's hard for people to pay more taxes for things that they may not necessarily need. So there's a lot of reasons why people are hesitant to pay. Oregon specifically is actually one of the lowest funded states in the nation, and so our teachers are paid significantly less than other states. We just want a fair salary for a job that is really, really important.
Thanks to all the Summit teachers and teachers across Oregon who participate in Red for Ed. Oregon public schools are underfunded, even compared to schools in other states across the U.S. The salary for a public school teacher is lower than other working class jobs, and that's part of what these teachers were fighting for. That's all we have time for, but thanks for those interviews, and back to you, anchors.
Last week, Central Oregon was hit with a record snowfall, and in its wake left complete chaos. Central Oregon residents woke up on Monday to find 2 feet of snow, and now that the snow is here, the city and homeowners must dig themselves out. Dave Howe with the fire department talked to us about how to stay safe in your home and how dangerous ice dams and unprotected gas meters can really be.
You know, when you're heating your house more intensely because it's cold outside, that heat has to go somewhere, and it goes up through the ceiling into the attic and out the roof. It melts the snow on the roof, just very little at a time, but it melts it. It runs down. Then it turns, as soon as the water that's melted snow hits cold air, it turns to ice. So you have ice dams. The ice dams, when they overflow, they turn into icicles. And the icicles are hazardous when they break off if you're walking underneath them.
As a reminder, Howe and the fire department want to ask if there is a covered fire hydrant on your street, that if you would help the fire department out by digging out the hydrant to make it accessible in the case of an emergency at your house or on your street. If you do smell gas inside your home, get out and call 911 immediately.
The weekend weather. Friday, March 8th, mostly cloudy, high 34 degrees to 17 degrees. Saturday, March 9th, partly cloudy, high 33 degrees to 19 degrees. Sunday, March 10th, snow showers, high 31 degrees to 19 degrees. That is all we have for you this week. On behalf of TrueView Studios and Brady Bedworth 3rd period TrueView broadcasting class, thank you for joining us today. Stay tuned March 8th for the premiere of Choblo.